Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm so happy to have with me in the studio for Saudi Arabia. Of course, it's my honor to present to you today Mr. Ben Hárborغ with a different picture. We're going to talk about himself, his hobbies, what he loves, why he invests in Saudi Arabia, and of course, about his club, Al-Khulud Club. Welcome.
Good to be here with you.
I'm so happy. Mr. Ben, thank you for giving us the time to be here with us. First of all, congratulations. And now you reach to the King Cup. I wanted to talk about your feeling and now next game with Al Hilal, inshallah, it's going to be on Friday. What do you think about it?
For us, it's a win just to be in the match. It's really challenging to reach here. In order to get here, we had to beat some incredible clubs, including Al Ittihad, who were last season's cup winner as well as league winner. And so, for a club like ours, with a budget that is maybe 20 times lower than many of these clubs we're facing, to have reached this stage in the competition and to have the eyes of the nation on us are already the biggest win we can imagine. So, if we walk out of there a loser, we've already won. It's really important for us also because it's proof of concept for us that the way we've done and built our football club is in a differentiated approach is working. And you really need some marquee moments and wins to prove that. Football, you can put all the effort in the world you want in. If the ball doesn't cross into the goal, nobody cares. So to get to this point was a critical and a huge endorsement for what we've been trying to build.
Who do you think he gonna make it?
It's a tough one. I mean, I think everyone would bet against us. I don't think there's anyone in the country who would say Al-Khulud is going to win this match.
We hope so. We really hope so.
Well, we all hope, and we all prepare. We prepare to win, and we know in our locker room that we're capable of doing it.
And you make very good development in the club, mashallah.
Sure.
We can see it.
Sure.
So why not? And you win the last game. We were so happy about that. So.
No, there's nothing stopping us. And we've had great, we beat Al-Shabaab twice this season, who have a salary budget that's 2 or 3 times teams. Bigger than ours. Yeah. We beat Tawin this season, which is a top 5 team in the league. We beat Ittihad, we tied Ittihad. So we're capable of playing, but again, even compared to those clubs I just mentioned, Hilal is on a different level right now. And so they're playing at a pace that would be very challenging for us to compete.
It's very important to know from your side, your opinion. Of course, you trust your club, and you know that Al Hilal team, it's not an easy team to play with. Now you Al Khulud face it. So, at least, how many goals? Let's say we will have an Al Khulud club and their goals.
I don't know how to predict anything. We had a very bad match against them the last time. I think so far the season, as they've scored 10 goals against us, we've scored 1 against them.
Yeah.
So it's been a very tough matchup for us. They are a team that has not lost in the league yet this year. They have a murderer's row of famous football names that everyone around the world knows. And Darwin Nunez and Theo Hernandez and Karim Benzema and Yassine Bono, and these are world-class players playing against people from our squad who have been playing historically in even second or even third tier football elsewhere in the world. And so again, there's a 20x or so difference in the salary budget. So it is a very challenging matchup for us. So it would be tough to predict anything other than a challenging result
at all. All right. What do you think about Al Hilal team?
I think they're a phenomenal team. I mean, again, they haven't lost in the league this season. They had an unfortunate match in the Asian Cup or the AFC Elite League, but otherwise, this is a team that is essentially unbeaten this season. They're one that is coached by a world-class coach. They have star power at every position. They're very strong offensively. So we have to try to exploit weaknesses in their defense and pray for some kind of miracles where the ball goes off the post instead of going in, or a player gets behind theirs, and we play for a miracle here.
Yeah, inshallah. I know that you still in Roshan competition, and you reach 14 rank, right? Alhamdulillah, I have a good information about Al Khulud Club. So what is your vision now, especially for the next year in the season?
Yeah, so I think this first season was one about survival. We always guided people that our objective this season was don't get relegated, stay in the league, keep the project going, because we have a 10-year vision for building this club in terms of how we select players, how we build our academy, the infrastructure, coaching, and so we put a lot of investment into this, but with expectation it would take years to see through, not to be a flash in the pan, successful just in one season. So we need to stay in the league. I would call next season a season of transition. So we're going to be introducing new infrastructure, a new training facility for the club. We'll be bringing in a lot of new players because we've got a lot of contracts that are expiring. We'll be building out the coaching and human side of the business. And so you'll see a very different Al-Khalood next season than you saw this season.
That's very big vision, mashallah. God helps you. Also, I want to talk about moving Al Club from Ras City to Riyadh City. Do you talk about this before?
No, we don't talk about it. I mean, we've made an announcement that we will be building facilities across the kingdom. Our objective is to think about being strategically placed with a broad geographic footprint that enables us to compete more effectively. And again, we have this long-term vision where we want to build a really strong club across the kingdom. We don't want to build what we call an elevator club that gets relegated, promoted year after year. We want to build a club that's solidly in the first division and then can push for bigger things like we're playing for on Friday.
Yeah.
And for us to achieve that, we want to have infrastructure in different places. We've contemplated setting up, for instance, training academies and recruiting stations in southern and eastern provinces. We are contemplating setting up a high performance center here in Riyadh that would be used by our first team for training. So we'll be just kind of continuously expanding, but never moving the club per se, never leaving our Ras. We have a great training facility there that we've spent a huge amount of time and energy renovating. Hopefully we have a stadium coming later this year. So, as I say, there's going to be a lot of infrastructure developments over the coming months.
For you, we wish for you a very good luck, you and Al-Khalood team, all of you guys. We really wish for you the best. If we're gonna talk about having, let's say, players from Class A to Al-Khalood Club, is this idea in your mind after, inshallah, you, as you're saying, to assist a club from beginning in your vision?
No, so people often ask us, are you going to bring stars into the club? Are you going to, are we going to know the names of the players that are doing it? And my general response, and there's always going to be exceptions, is most of the players that you're going to see play at Al-Khalood are names you've never heard of. And if we're bringing in players whose names you know, we're probably not doing our job well, unless they're players that people already think we're on the downslope. So our objective as a club is to bring in typically players below the age of 25, who are both Saudi and international, underdeveloped, undervalued, underperforming, but we know that they're capable of a lot more if they're given trust, minutes, proper coaching, nutrition, sleep, etc. And so if we're doing our job, we're bringing in and we're building stars rather than buying stars.
Nice. This has driven me to ask you a next questions. Let's say if I have an academy here, academy have 5 branches all around Saudi. Academies, let's say the brand for this academy would cost 7 million riyal. Do you think to have it for you or to work with it? Tell me.
Yeah, I mean, so we look at academies 2 ways, right? So for us, the first and most important one is identifying and developing young talent, Saudi talent, that would be valuable to our club, both on the pitch and financially, and hopefully one day would be valuable for the nation of Saudi Arabia on the national team. So that's the most important purpose for academies, and that's why I say we need to put them across the country to kind of scout and bring in players rather than forcing a boy from Jazan to move to Aras. He could stay in his hometown and train in our academy there. There is also, of course, a group of for-profit academies. The challenge is, of course, there are plenty of other for-profit academies and global brands that are setting up here. Even Al-Ahly from Egypt is setting up academies here, and Hilal have academies, and I don't know, maybe PSG or Barcelona have academies. So we have to make sure that we really have something that we think is a differentiated product before we enter that market and compete alongside of global well-known brands.
But I can understand from you that you will study it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, we're keen on driving revenue as many ways as we can. And of course, with the infrastructure that we're putting huge investments into, being able to dual use it, both for our club and our kind of the professional side of the business and competitive side of the business, but also for creating revenue from things like academies, for-profit academies.
Is it right that the investment in sport, it's a losing game?
So football,
in general?
Yeah, football globally is people are typically losing money. And they're typically, clubs are poorly run, they're inefficient. Football as a whole is just a very broken business. It's very corrupt, it's very archaic. It's one of the oldest kind of businesses I can imagine. And it hasn't done a good job of integrating new technological developments, new scientific developments. And so our view is that we have a differentiated approach to football that is financially sustainable, can be used to make clubs profitable. And I know that it works because the people that work for me built highly profitable clubs in other markets. So we assembled, before I came into Al-Khulud, a team of people that I thought were kind of superstars. For me, what's more important than superstars on the pitch is superstars off the pitch. They're identifying the players, developing the players, identifying the strategies we're going to use. And so the people that I brought in are some of the very best who have built some of the most effective, efficient, and high-performing financial clubs in the world. And so I think we can beat that, and they have beaten that before. And even in clubs that I've been involved with to date, most of them have always been profitable to date.
The Saudi Investment Foundation, did it play a role in your investment in Saudi Arabia? Maybe you talked before in another interviews that about investment, but I want to read the real motivation.
So I've been investing in Saudi Arabia since 2018 in the technology space, and I've been working off and on in Saudi Arabia since 2007. So I do know the environment here, and I've always thought fundamentally Saudi Arabia was a good investment market because you have very young consumers, you have a lot of very affluent consumers, you have people that are very digitally plugged in, digitally native. You spend some of the highest per capita amounts of time online, be it on TikTok, YouTube, Snap, whatever. And so that creates a very interesting opportunity to make money in those types of verticals that tap into that. And so we've been investing in particularly things like consumer technology, financial technology in Saudi Arabia for a long time. And then sports to me became a really interesting asset class as well as I studied it and watched it. And I've been going to SPL matches now for about 4 years. I had formed a partnership with a club in Saudi Arabia with one of my Spanish clubs in about 3-4 years ago.
Qadish.
Exactly. I'm a minority owner in Qadish, and we formed a brother club partnership with a club here. And that opened the door to me to understanding more what the Ministry of Sport were doing, the Saudi Football Federation, the SPL. And that brought me to the realization that sport as well in Saudi Arabia is a really compelling asset class, and so I decided to get involved.
Very nice, mashallah. And why you didn't think that Qadish also could do something here, the club could do something here in Saudi, and also from Al-Khulud you can take some players to play in there? And
that's very much part of the strategy. I mean, again, this, like I said, this first year was survival. Next year we will be able to deploy more creativity. We'll have a little bit more breathing room. This year we took over the club literally days before the preseason started, and so we just didn't have the luxury of a lot of time to kind of think, or not think, but to act on a lot of the ideas we've had. But certainly in our, let's call it our action pipeline, is to send our Saudi players to Europe and get them development time there, to bring maybe club players in from abroad, and to share economies of scale, to share coaching strategies, to share intelligence, scouting, whatever it is. So we are the Harbor Group, which is the group I've created that owns Al-Khulud, is a multi-club group that will own other clubs around the world and then find ways to weave them together strategically.
Okay, why didn't talk before about Al-Qadish, let's say, as you're talking about Al-Khulud Club, or no one asked you about that?
Well, first off, we never made it to a King's Cup final there.
Okay.
Ironically, Cadiz has the exact same concept. In Spain, we have something called the Copa del Rey, which is the King's Cup. Cadiz never made it to anywhere near the same level that we have here at Al-Khulud. And the difference is at Cadiz, I'm not running the day-to-day operations of the club. So I'm not running the sports side, the performance, the financial. And so you know, I sat there as a minority owner, kind of using it as, let's call it, apprenticeship to learn about football. And that's why I felt like I had the capabilities then to come into Al Khaloud. But I talk more about the clubs where I am fully in control of them and I make the final decision. So in Al Khaloud, I'm personally 100% shareholder of the club.
Wow, very nice. I saw a lot of videos and pictures for you watching the game while you are sitting between the fans, and this has really reached me. You know, for me, as I'm not a fan for any club, okay, but I would love to have to be a fan for Al Khaloud Club because the owner is really someone who's care about his fans. I want you to talk to me about this.
Yeah, I mean, I from the first day of the season, or before it even started, I made it very clear that I wanted to be a very different kind of owner than people had experienced in Saudi Arabia, and actually most of the time across the world. Typically, owners are very separated from the fans. They sit in the VIP box, far removed from them. They communicate to the fans through PR, press releases that are issued on the team website. Usually they're at odds with the fans. Fans don't feel like they care about their interests. They're overcharged. They don't care about the club. I mean, usually there are very few, I would say, well-loved owners across global football. And even if you're an owner who wins the league, say, one season, if you don't win it again the next season, the fans will again kind of turn on you. Because again, there's a bit of this like combative relationship. So I wanted to experiment and see if we could change that dynamic by building a club that, while controlled and owned singularly by myself, we could make it a more community-based club, one that sought out the opinions of fans so that they could give us feedback on how our stadium experience should be evolved, how our jerseys should look, how our logo should be, what our team song should be, even down to things like what players we should recruit, because I get great recommendations every day. What I love about Saudi fans is they have a very high football IQ, and generally speaking, with very few exceptions, when they speak with me online through direct messages, through comments on posts, it's very pragmatic, actionable feedback. It's like, you should look at this player, you should think about this strategy. It's not, you should spend more money, you should stop being a bad owner. You know, this is the kind of feedback you often get elsewhere in the world.
They're trying to help you to
Very
develop.
helpful, very helpful. And so I reward that with being as much available to them as possible. And so as anytime they'll meet with me, I'll take them out for dinner. I'm taking a bunch of fans out for dinner tomorrow night in Jeddah.
Nice of you.
I sit with them in the stands if at all possible. It'll be a little hard on Friday, but at any match where there's a clear Al Khaloud fan section, I'll go down and sit with them. I much prefer to sit with the fans than be in the owner box. I respond to direct messages I get on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. So I just kind of disintermediated the PR departments and the typical walls that separate owners from fans, and I push through them, and I just try to have a direct relationship.
The game on Friday have a very important scene. Let's say in the ceremony, it's going to be a chance for Ben Harborough, the investment, to meet His Highness the Crown Prince. So what do you think about that? Did you prefer something to say? Did you have something to wear, let's say?
Yeah, it's a great honor for me. I have not met him before, so it would be my great honor to get the chance to meet His Royal Highness. We've prepared a special gift. We prepared some special clothing. We prepared a special phrase for him. So I'm certainly going to do my best to not butcher any of those and get it right. But I'm so excited to get the chance to see him.
Did you make some words in Arabic to say to him?
I'm going to prepare at least one sentence to say to him.
What do you want to say? If I could know, or after the air.
Yeah, whenever. But again, this is the kind of thing where I would ask for suggestions from you and from fans about what I should say, what would be an appropriate thing to say.
Of course, I will help you.
Arabic is a tough language, For me, I'm translating my posts I'm writing them in English, but then I talk to many different people, obviously mostly Qasimis, or people that understand kind of Qasimi dialect of Saudi Arabic.
They have another language.
Another
language than
so
Saudi.
It's very complicated for me as an outsider to pick the words appropriately.
Inshallah, you will do it, and we trust you, of course. Let's talk about you a little bit, about Ben Harbor. How's your day in Saudi Arabia? When you're awake, what do you do?
My days are long here. I mean, I'm still not done with my day, and it's quite late already, and I usually go to bed around 3, 4, 5 a.m.
Wow.
We work through the night, and we get up, this morning I was up at 9 a.m. for a breakfast meeting. I still have a day job. My day job is venture capital and growth equity. So I'm still actually, my first breakfast this morning was with a great Saudi entrepreneur who's building a financial technology business. I met with one of the biggest banks in the kingdom today to talk about financial investments, private equity, venture capital. And then, meeting entrepreneurs and things like that, meeting government officials to think about and corporates to think about what demands are existing in the Saudi market where we can build or invest in businesses. And then alongside of that, of course, a pretty active involvement in football. So doing media interviews, fans.
From what you are saying, I feel that you are investor more than sportsman.
Well, hopefully they go hand in hand because, again, if people kind of come in with the wrong kind of financial acumen into sports, they'll lose a lot of money, as you said. So we certainly have to take a financial mind to sport. But certainly what is supposed to take up most of my time still is the investing side of things. And the sports is a passion, let's say, a love.
Okay, besides football, which sport you prefer?
So I try to go to the gym once a day. The sport that I love to play the most right now is tennis. So I'm playing a lot of tennis. In college, I was a rower. So I was the captain of the rowing team in my university for a couple years. I played golf. I played baseball as a boy.
Nice.
In America, I also like to watch American football, NFL, and college football.
It's very hard game.
I never played it, but I like to watch it.
Okay, you watch it, but not
Never
play.
played. No.
You didn't try it?
No, never. And I'm glad I didn't because it's a sport where people hit their head a lot and it gives you brain damage.
Of course. If you try it, I'm not sure.
I might not be here today, right? So, no, I played in high school. I was a runner. I was a swimmer. I did sports, I think, that were good for me from a fitness perspective.
I have to ask you, Ben, I see you drinking tea, and it's rare to see an American drinking tea. I want to know what is your favorite, let's say, drink you learned here in Saudi Arabia, food, let's say.
Yeah. Well, I'm drinking tea only because I want to try to go to bed tonight at some point. If I
You
drink
want
coffee,
to go early.
I don't want to be nocturnal every night for the rest of my time.
Okay.
So I'm trying to cut down on the amount of caffeine I drink at nighttime. If this was morning, I'd be drinking black coffee. I like a Turkish coffee, but no,
Nice.
I love Arabic. I love Saudi Arabic coffee.
You like Saudi?
Yeah, with the dates, and I love that. For me, it's I'm not so much into sweets as you can imagine because we're trying to be athletic here, so I don't eat a lot of sweets. So I try to keep the sugar out. So it's black coffee. I like protein smoothies. I like juice, green juice especially. So I eat everything,
Nice.
drink everything.
I see also a tweet. It's not a tweet. Let's say an X platform. You had a picture that you eat something new in Jeddah, new for you. It's called name it harika.
Yeah.
But actually it is ma'soub. When I
So,
zoom the
a
picture.
few people said that to me.
Yeah.
I guess harika is the one with banana.
This is, it came with
Okay,
banana.
okay.
Yeah,
So-
this
so,
is
yeah.
ma'soub.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I had masoup, I guess.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it was good. Again, very sweet.
So heavy?
Yeah, very heavy. And again, I'm not a big dessert person across all things, but I love to try new desserts and dishes that are traditional of Saudi Arabia or wherever I am within the kingdom. Most nights before I go to bed, I have chicken kapsa. So
Nice.
I like...
Before bed?
Yeah, well,
Wow.
that's the only time they let me eat dinner. I mean, today I didn't, that'll be my first
Wow.
meal. So, but no, I love to eat Saudi food. And, it's interesting, my players love eating here too. I've never heard a single complaint from a player about the food here. I think, the rice, grilled meats, we eat a lot of rice and lamb in Qasim, I guess,
Yes,
like
of
across the
course,
kingdom.
of course.
But it's, no one has any complaints. Everyone feels very healthy here. The air is clear. It's a good place for living.
Thank you so much for saying that. A lot of people is looking forward to know about what you think about Saudi Arabia. Also, maybe some of your fans doesn't know who's Ben Harborough. What do you think the most of your fans want to know about you? Maybe today we get a little bit more to know, but what do you think they want to know? Who's real Ben Harborough for them?
You know, I try to answer as many questions as I can where appropriate. I mean, people ask me what other sport teams I like, what other, where I like to travel, what I like to eat, where I worked, my career path, how I got to where I am today. Yeah, exactly. So, I get different questions all the time, but I try to be as transparent as possible, and I try to live my life in a way where my fans and the supporters of Al-Khulud would be proud of me if they saw me anytime, day or night.
Yeah, inshallah. Today is Wednesday. You will be tomorrow, let's say, in Jeddah.
Mm-hmm.
Inshallah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the last thing you want to say for us, for our fans, and also for your fans from our channel?
No, I'm so honored by this outpouring of support and interest in our story. We're a humble club with a humble history, and I'm not a famous owner or billionaire, guy with a huge track record. And so to receive this kind of support and interest in us, and so many people across the country sending us lovely messages on all social media channels and in person, it's so humbling and almost emotional for me. And the most we can do is say that we love you, and we really have tried to build this club as a different club, as one that cares deeply about its fans in a way that we don't think many other clubs are able to, because we can invite you to have a seat at the table. We can get your opinions. I'm right now replying on Instagram and Twitter to fan requests and sending them tickets on WeBook every minute right now. So we are doing everything in our power, and we're fully humbled, and the humility here to do anything we can to make sure you can be part of our team and come to the match or feel a part of the story in the stands in our Ras. And so we encourage anyone across the kingdom to join us in this. We'd love to be the second team, even if you have a first team that you love. But please join us on this journey. And regardless of what happens on Friday, we hope people will join our team. And this is a long journey. This is not just about Friday's match, which easily we could lose. This is about building a club in a new way, a fan base in a new way, a business in a new way that hopefully is great for everyone in the kingdom, and something that makes everyone feel proud. So we're honored to be with you, and we appreciate it.
Inshallah. And we also love to have you, Mr. Ben. And last or not least, maybe I want to say you are a really good ambassador for our kingdom as as investment or as a sportsman. We really thank you to have you today with us, and thank you for your time.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.